Hello, Artful Manifestors. So good to be in your energy again. Today, we are discovering what you are bringing into alignment and how you're doing that. How's the misalignment showing up in your life, and any advice that your guides have for you at this time as to speed up the process of bringing whatever it is into alignment. And to do that, you're going to choose from one of these three cards, or crystals, or both, whatever feels right to you. All right, if you want to choose only by the crystals and let your intuition be your guide without seeing the image, let me introduce the crystals to you now. For reading number 1, we have Garnet. This is what it looks like. And for reading number 2, we have Sodalite. This is what it looks like. All right, and for reading number 3, we have Silver Obsidian. This is what it looks like. All right, let your intuition guide you into the reading, whichever reading you feel most drawn to. Oh, I almost forgot to show you the cards. Let me do that now. All right, for reading number 1, this is the image. And for reading number 2, this is the image. And for reading number 3, this is the image. All right. Whichever image and or crystal you're most drawn to is most likely the reading meant for you. Of course, you're always welcome to listen to 2 or even all 3 of the messages, as there may be additional guidance for you there. I put a link to all the cards that I use in the description box below if I happen to have one. And of course, I always do my readings for your highest and best good, to offer you insight, guidance, and hope. If you hear any noises in the background, those may be my dogs. Hello, reading number 1. Welcome. You chose the Garnet. And Garnet is connected to the root and sacral chakras. It awakens Kundalini current. It reconnects you to your body's raw power. So this is great for people healing any kind of past wounds, and helpful to reclaim desire, courage. It's also Garnet roots your dreams, so it ties intention to action, vision to outcome. It's perfect for people building something tangible from spiritual insight. So whether this is a home, a business, maybe content, or a sovereign life, it's great to help you anchor that, manifest it. And it also offers protection through radiance. So it's not cloaking or deflecting, but it's protecting by illuminating your aura. So it's harder to target, not because it's hidden, but because it burns too bright for shadows to approach. Isn't that beautiful? It's been used by warriors, priestesses, priests, wanderers throughout history. So Garnet can awaken that ancestral confidence and the wisdom passed through bloodlines. It's It's telling you that what you carry is older than the fears that you may have accumulated since then. Um, it's also great for healing grief and emotional repression. It doesn't bypass pain, it warms the frozen places. It brings blood and spirit back to the places we've numbed, especially used for reclaiming sexuality, joy, and voice after loss or betrayal. All right. And this is the card that you chose, Soulmate. You see here there's a heart, and then there's another heart, plus this beautiful pink color. And I kind of have a feeling that this has to do with maybe not a physical relationship with another person, but something about reclaiming your own power and bringing harmony within yourself. Maybe a union with spirit, an alignment with your higher self. Now, the result may be that you attract a soulmate, but let's get into the rest of the cards. All right, I'm already receiving so much. All right, let's see. What can you tell us about what reading number 1 is bringing into alignment? What are they bringing into alignment? How is it showing up in their life? And where is it going to lead? All right, we have this star. The 4 of Swords. Okay. And the Ace of Cups. Beautiful. So the star tells us we see this energy, right, coming into her hand and then being channeled into the earth. So just as I said, you're anchoring something, just like the Garnet said, you're getting this divine inspiration and you're anchoring this into the physical. I feel that many of you are building a spiritual practice. And this is coming after your own healing. You're like a shaman of sorts, somebody who's healed themselves. And now you carry that medicine with you and you are going to assist others on their journey. Now, this could be a hands-on healing like Reiki or massage or physical therapy. But I also see some of you are writing. It could be writing a book or a podcast, some kind of content for the internet. But again, there's this divine inspiration flowing through you. I see your crown chakra very open. We see here she's got this like crown of stars. You're receiving this and then you're anchoring it into the physical with your words, with your writings, with your interactions with others. For some of you, this may be interactions in your daily life with people that you meet. You may not even be aware that you're doing this. So some of you, it's very intentional. You have a spiritual business or you're writing something that is going to be or is very healing for others. And For some of you, it is these interactions with other people that seem like just a casual conversation with somebody at the store, but what you don't know is that you're channeling this energy. Something's happening. You're this conduit for this spiritual energy, and these other people that you interact with are benefiting from that. So beautiful. So, this is what you're kind of refining and bringing into alignment. This is part of what you're meant to do at this time here on this planet. And everything that's been happening before has kind of been working to give you this medicine. So there's nothing that you did that was a mistake or out of alignment. I know it sounds like it when I say, what are we bringing into alignment? So it's not because you've been doing anything wrong. Everything that's happened up until this point was part of the plan so that you could learn something, understand something, and become that vibration that you need to become in order to channel just the right message. So you're just kind of now tweaking things and refining things. So the Four of Swords is reminding you to rest and to meditate to help you process this. I'm also hearing that some of you are receiving downloads in your dreams. Some of you are working with moon energy. Yes, I see somebody again working with moon energy to journal, to write things down, to anchor in this spiritual insight that you've been receiving, and also to process things. So it's like somebody who studies something, but maybe they haven't put it into practice yet on others. They've practiced on doing things themselves, but they haven't quite taken it out into the world yet. And so it's like you're integrating something, you're processing something in preparation to share it with others in some way, shape, or form. Again, I'm hearing that make sure that you get your rest, especially those of you that are working directly with others, hands-on type of healing, whether again that's Reiki or cranial sacral therapy, something where you're direct readings. Maybe you're doing some kind of tarot readings, spiritual readings, mediumship. It's very important for you to reset your energy, not just by taking naps or meditation, but by spending time in nature, doing things that help clear your energy. So, whatever resonates with you, we all have our different methods. You'll know what the right method is for you, they're telling me. All right. And then we have the Ace of Cups. So again, this is something new, something that you're beginning, something that's going to bring you fulfillment, something that comes from your intuition, from your emotion, from your feelings. So again, we see this energy, this divine energy being channeled through you, and it's overflowing. Look at, again, the crown chakra is being highlighted. This is something that's not only fulfilling you and feeding and fueling your dreams, but it is deeply connected to your emotions, your intuition. Yeah, I'm hearing psychic. Again, I feel like many of you may be doing readings of some sort, or you just, people are coming to you and you know what they need. Even before they say it, you're sensing it, you're feeling it. So we all have different clairs that we're better at. Some of us receive through what we see, some through what we hear. You may not even be consciously aware of the fact that you're picking up on somebody's vocal patterns and tones, and that is giving you a clue as to what kind of guidance to offer them. And I see it being so deeply intuitive and connected to the spiritual realm with these two crowns that, um, again, you're not consciously aware of how it's happening, but it doesn't really matter. You don't have to uh, analyze it or vocalize it in some kind of academic way. People are going to, people that need you will find you. Yeah, I feel it just, but again, with this crown here and this crown here, and we see that she's wearing the hat, and here the hat, which represents the crown, is hung up. So it's like taking yourself out of that environment and allowing yourself to recharge in between some of this so that you don't deplete your cup. I don't see that happening, but they want me to remind you that, because it can start to feel addictive at first, doing all these readings and healings. It's very exciting, and getting these confirmations from those clients that you work with. But in order to keep that flow going, you need to not only rest, but nourish yourself. You need to drink from those waters as well. You need to spend time in nature or reset yourself in whatever way that means, just taking off that role, that hat, so to speak, stepping outside of that role momentarily and uh, letting yourself recharge before you return. And that's okay. You don't have to justify it or explain it to anybody, but it is important. And what I'm seeing, what they're telling me, it's quite beautiful reading. Yes. And those of you that are looking for a soulmate, it may bring a soulmate, all this alignment, all of this, you walking this path that is illuminating, right? Your soul is just really shining now, doing what it was meant to do, and it may attract the right person if that's something that you're looking for. But what they're telling me most is that you're really in harmony with yourself, with your current mission. And this is something that you want to do, something that you decided to do. Beautiful. Yeah, I do. Definitely, they're telling me, but somebody here is going to find love. They're showing me these two doves. So, again, if that's something that you want, that is also coming, but it's coming after you write that book or while you're writing that book, but you're in the flow of it, or get that content out or start that spiritual business. It's when you're uh, glowing is just so radiant that it's going to be like a moth to a flame that you attract this soulmate. Absolutely beautiful. Reading number 1. What a beautiful message. I absolutely love it. Please let me know if it resonated. I love to read your comments. And I'm wishing you the best. May the light in you receive the light from me. Thank you. Hello, reading number 2. Welcome. I am already just looking at this pyramid here, and with this blue sodalite. I know it says past life. I already am picking up on a type of initiation, a death and rebirth, a huge transformation. So we shall see. The sodalite, I love sodalite. One of my favorite stones is it is awakening that inner sage within you. It's the bridge between intuition and intellect. So it helps to align that logic and intuition, right? It clears mental fog while enhancing spiritual insight. So, they're showing me this brain with the left hemisphere and the right hemisphere, and it's like somebody's maybe too right hemisphere energy, too much activity in the right hemisphere, or too much activity in the left hemisphere. It leads to this either analysis paralysis or fear, is what I'm hearing. And so this sodalite is really helping to connect that. So I see you coming to this clarity, coming into a phase in your life where you're not either fearful or doubting. I say fearful, but it could just be doubt, like you don't believe it, right? Or analysis paralysis, where you're overthinking something. And instead, you have a good balance with the left brain and the right brain. So it's calming the chaos, the chaotic negative thought loops or thought spirals, anxiety loops, that internal noise. And it just brings it all to center. It's not like it's stopping something, it's balancing it with that left. They keep showing me the two hemispheres of the brain, balancing it. It's not that it's stopping the inner thoughts, it's bringing it into balance and center. Sodalite also empowers authentic expression. And it does this without sharpness. It helps you say hard things with grace and protection from self abandonment. It's excellent for boundary setting, conflict resolution, spiritual teaching. It's also good for deep insight and subtle perception, including dreaming, maybe even lucid dreaming, understanding dream symbols, receiving messages from your guides, from your higher self. So you could even sleep with this near your pillow. It's good too, if you haven't worked with crystals before, to cleanse them. Always do a little research as to whether or not you can cleanse them with water. Not all crystals like to be in water. For example, selenite, you don't want to put that in water. Sodalite would be okay to rinse. A good way to cleanse them is under the full moon, which at the time of this reading, we have one coming up in a few days. And then you can hold your crystal in your hand and let it know, either out loud or with your mental intentions, that you would like assistance in having dreams that you understand, that are helpful, that are from your higher self or your guides, and that when you wake up, you want to remember them. And this little guy will help you do that. The sodalite also helps bring you into alignment with your soul purpose. So it can illuminate the hidden pattern or purpose behind confusion. So it's not, that this confusion, this mental fog is a plague or something that you're doing wrong. There's actually a reason that you've experienced it. And so the sodalite can help with that understanding and bring you again and help you find that inner compass. This is especially good for periods of change. And I told you, as soon as I saw this, I see that you're going through a great change. Sometimes when we go through a great change, there could be discomfort, or it is brought about by something that seems unpleasant. And then we doubt ourselves. So that's why I keep hearing this about doubt. Okay, let's keep going. Let's keep going. All right, past life. So what I'm hearing is that there's the past life in this life. Like I said, I see a huge transformation. They're telling me death and rebirth. So there's like the old you, right? It's like a paradigm shift within your life. But it is also connected to some pattern in a past life, something that happened in a past life that you are healing in this life, or that you're learning, might be another way to say it. It's you're learning something, or it could be both. All right, let's get some tarot cards and see what else we can find out. All right, what can you tell us about what reading number 2 is bringing into alignment? How is this misalignment? How's it showing up in their life? All right, we have the Page of Cups. I feel like this one wanted to come out too. The 9 of Wands. Any other guidance you have for them? And the Hermit. All right. You're doing a lot of inner child work. That's part of this transformation. You're learning to trust yourself. Yeah. So this misalignment, or not misalignment, but this doubt may be causing kind of a defensiveness, like feeling like you have to defend yourself, like you have to uh, stand your ground. And not saying that you don't, but maybe you haven't successfully uh, mastered the art of setting boundaries with grace. It might come out with a tone that other people focus on, as opposed to what the message is, like how you're saying it. They might be distracted by that, and then that kind of like rubs one of their wounds. So what I see is that you've been doing a lot of this inner child work, and you're healing some old wounds that are not just from your past life in this life, but also a past life, maybe even multiple past lives. And I know that, on the quantum level, there is no past or future or present. It all exists at once, but our language is limited in articulating these. So, yes, all of these things are happening at once, but from our current perspective and language understanding, it's easiest just to phrase it that way. So yeah, I'm hearing that you're cleaning something. You're cleaning something up. You're clearing something. It's like you're cleaning this energy, this mental energy. Again, that I'm hearing the mental fog, the doubt. So through this inner child work, which could be it could look like uh, you returning to activities that you did as a child and engaging in those activities, whether it's painting or roller skating or drawing, playing a musical instrument, playing pretend. Uh, you're interacting with that inner child. You're bringing it forward. You're making that aspect of yourself stronger. And children glow, they have this illumination. And so you're learning to let that desire that the inner child has. You know what they're telling me is uh you're eh, what would your younger you remind you that you want it to do? So in other words, if you're a younger version of you could have a conversation with you now, uh, what would they remind you that what would, they would ask you like, well, what do you do now? Are you fill in the blank because there was something that you wanted to be when you were younger. And just because you're not that doesn't mean that you need to be that. You don't need to necessarily switch careers, although it might mean that. But it might be a clue as to what feeds your soul. Because, as we grow, we start to accumulate these expectations that different communities put on us. It could be our family, it could be even our friends, society at large. We start to have these I should be doing this, I'm supposed to be doing that. But as a child, you didn't think that way. None of us did. And so they're asking me, what did you want to be when you were younger? And again, if you wanted to be a veterinarian and you're doing something completely different right now, it doesn't mean that you should go back to school and be a vet unless that's really calling you. But maybe it means finding time to work with animals in some way. You can be with animals, you can work with animals in some way that doesn't necessarily have to be a vet. So something like that. It's going back and working with that energy. There's some clue in there. And the more you do that, your voice is going to change. The other thing with this sodalite is I'm feeling and they're telling me about your throat chakra. There's some aspect of you that was silenced or you felt you had to silence. So it's like either a past life or when you were younger. So like this life, old you or young you, or both. It could be something that's rippled through time that you're not able to express yourself fully. You felt like you couldn't truly be you. And I see that again, through all this inner child work, you're bringing that into alignment and your voice is changing, your expression is changing, and your confidence is growing so that you don't feel like you have to um, explain yourself or justify yourself. You just, you do what you do. And if somebody doesn't like it, that's on them. You have this greater understanding. It's like you're not hurting anyone doing what you're doing. You're just doing what you enjoy, and it's illuminating you and your path. So it's like, here's this little owl is like your higher self, right? And your inner child is very active and is growing and is helping to illuminate your path of how to express yourself in this life. And that's your guiding light. And it's being taken up to your higher self. So you have this unification of the child in you, the inner child, your adult self, and your higher self. I see those three aspects being brought into alignment in a really beautiful way. And so the hermit isn't about you being lonely, it's about you being sovereign, really. You trusting yourself. You're the wise one, you're the adult, you're the child, all within yourself. And so you trust yourself, and you don't need anyone's permission. You don't have to explain yourself or justify yourself to others. You just do what you know is right for you, and it feels good. And the beautiful thing is that by you doing that, it actually gives other people a silent permission to do it as well. I love it. Absolutely beautiful. Reading number 2, what a wonderful message. I hope that it resonated. If it did, please let me know. I love to read your comments, and I'm wishing you the best. The light in me sees the light in you. Thank you. Bye. Hello, reading number 3. You chose the silver obsidian, which helps with your shadow wisdom, your soul truth. Silver obsidian helps you see without flinching. So it's not through confrontation, but through reflection. It reveals hidden beliefs that direct your choices, old pain that's wrapped in protection, gifts buried beneath self-doubt. It invites truth as revelation, not punishment. It offers protection through discernment. So silver obsidian doesn't just block energy, it filters it, helping you sense what's your energy and what isn't, which is really powerful for empaths, readers, therapists, navigating others' energy, or people who absorb too much energy, anyone who feels foggy after being around certain people or spaces. Think of it as a clairvoyant shield, mirroring energy back to its source with wisdom, not retaliation. Isn't that beautiful? It's connected to the moon, linking it to night wisdom, dream work, ancestral communication. It supports honoring ancestral wounds or gifts and accessing past life memories, working with guides from the shadow realms, not malicious but hidden. And it helps with dream work, meditation to receive visions or messages. It's great for cord cutting. It can be used in ritual to cut energetic cords that are draining, relationships that drain, memories, breaking toxic soul contracts. It's good for calling back fragmented energy. It enhances spiritual sight, strengthening clairvoyance, remote viewing, scrying, mirror gazing, divination, seeing through the illusion of self or others. And then here we see relief. And when I saw this card, what came to mind was crossroads. So let's see. Let's get into the tarot cards and see what else we can find out about what you're bringing into alignment. How's this being activated right now? What's showing up in your life? All right. We have judgment. The Hierophant. Oh, all right. Oh, you got two. The Two of Cups and the Lovers, and they came out together. Wow, you are really bringing something into harmony, aren't you? Yeah. And you know something? I saw this Two of Cups when I picked up this deck before I did any of the readings. And I was wondering if I would see it again. And here it is. It was meant for you, reading number 3. All right. So I hear that you're letting go of judgment, the critical voice. Now, this could be turned inwards, being critical of yourself, turned outwards, critical of others or situations. And it may not even be of others, it may be of experiences. Um, you know, uh, kind of seeing it's a survival skill. So seeing what's wrong, because sometimes we learn this survival skill that we need to kind of be vigilant as to what's wrong with the situation so that we can protect ourselves. And so I see that kind of clearing away, just like this silver obsidian helps to get that not just reflected back in a harsh way, but like giving it some wisdom, some understanding. You're beginning to understand what created that voice, or what that voice is doing, and you're beginning to work with it. I see you having this conversation with that critical voice, um, kind of redirecting it and giving it a new job. For some of you, this critical voice may have come from past spiritual experiences. So it could be an old belief system. Yeah, so it's like something being echoed. It's like they're showing me a parent or a grandparent who shows their love through worry. And so that might be expressed as, don't do this, don't do that, make sure you do this. And it's like always on the lookout for things that could go wrong. And that's their expression of love for you or for others, is through this kind of worry. And so what your guides want you to know is that worry is like a negative prayer. Worry is like sitting in a rocking chair, rocking back and forth, expecting to go somewhere, but it doesn't take you anywhere. It keeps you stuck. And sometimes it kind of almost pulls you backwards, right? But you're not moving forward because of that critical voice. So again, it's not necessarily that you're judging other people, although some of you may do that if that resonates. It's really judging situations and being worried about things. That's what's really coming through. And what they want you to know is it's like a negative prayer, that your thoughts, your emotions, your voice are manifesting, they're creating your reality. So if you're worried that something is going to go wrong and you're putting that kind of thought, energy, emotion into it, then that's what you're going to create. And you may not even be aware that you're doing it. It may be so subtle. But just notice when you're saying to yourself or to others things like that, like, be careful because you never know, or I better save some just in case. It may just be so subtle. And so I see that you're beginning to trust more in the universe and in yourself. And this is creating this beautiful harmony. And, we see here this word relief, right? Relief from, it's like you're worried about something. They're also telling me somebody is worried about something specifically right now. And they want you to know it's going to work out just fine. And then you're just going to feel this relief. If you can get that feeling now, like, it's fine, everything's good. I don't know why I was worried. Start practicing that. Then things will go wrong less often. Yeah, it's a choice. They're telling me it's a choice that you have. Look at all these twos, right? You see two here, two here, two here. I'm seeing lots of twos, lots of threes, but you have this choice as to how you think. You can choose to worry because there's this belief system that's been ingrained in you so subtly that that worry is an expression of love. But you can choose to express love in, I have confidence in you, I have faith in you. And that could be towards yourself or towards others. I know you're going to do the right thing. I trust things are going to work out. It's very empowering. I see you empowering yourself and others in this way, just by changing that, just like a simple little switch. You may even catch other people worrying, and you might say, let's see what good comes out of this. And it just switches, just being calm about it, and just, let's see what happens. Maybe something good will come out. And it's just going to totally transform your life. It's huge. I mean, they're really emphasizing how this is going to bring everything into harmony with these two cards that came out together, the Lovers and the Two of Cups. It's this beautiful union between you and the universe, you trusting that things are going to work out. Even if you think, okay, I'm going to try this. She said, trust that things are going to work out. So you're like, okay, you know what? I'm going to put it on my mind. Things are going to work out. And then maybe it doesn't work out. And you think, if you think I knew it, then you didn't completely trust it, right? But if you think, I tried it and it didn't work, still trust. It's still unfolding. It's not the end. That's what they're telling me. It's always unfolding. It's leading you somewhere. Trust that it's leading you to the right place. Yeah, this is just so powerful. They're telling me it's it seems like a simple thing to do in theory, but it is a pattern that's been in play for quite a while. But you're at this crossroads now where something has to change. You can't keep doing the same thing and expecting different results. And also, they're reminding me that for somebody that's watching this, there's something in particular that you've been worried about, and they are telling you it's going to be fine. Things are going to work out for your highest and best good. Trust that. Trust the universe, trust yourself. Your guides, your guardian angels have your back. You're welcome to invite any of these energies to help you. All right, to help you with that reframing, with rephrasing it. Let's see what good comes out of this, and to help you with that situation so that it works out good. And then once you do that, just trust. Once you've made that request, whether it's directly to source or your angels or your guides or your ancestors, just let it go and trust. It's taken care of. They're taking care of it. You don't have to know how it's going to happen. That's the other thing I'm hearing is this. For some of you, it could be that this judgment, this critical voice, this voice is coming across as, I'm worried that if I don't do this myself, it's not going to get done or it's not going to get done properly. hmm And I see you letting go of that old belief. Yeah, this is like a pattern that's been repeated so much that it's a belief system within you now. And I see like on a quantum level, on an energetic level, the geometry changing into a different shape that's more in alignment with what you want. Because this other thing has been heavy and draining your energy. It's using a lot of energy. And once you open up to trusting the universe, to trusting others, uh, you're going to have this big relief. And all of a sudden, you're going to have so much more energy to do all these things that you want to do, that you enjoy doing, that feed your soul. Really beautiful. Reading number 3, so excited for you. Please let me know if this resonated. I love to read your comments, and I'm wishing you the highest and best good. I know things are going to work out for you. The light in me sees the light in you. Thank you. Bye.